Good. Anyway, welcome to our fellowship assembly. We'll be recognizing our fellow Rotarians this month for their commitment to Rotary. As part of this celebration, we're happy to have Tim Schilds here to talk about the foundation, as November is Rotary Foundation Month. The Rotary Foundation helps Rotary members to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace by improving health, providing quality education, improving the environment, and alleviating poverty. In the agenda today, a couple of changes. Attendance certificates will be probably handed out at a later date. And we have a couple of Paul Hare's fellowship presentation. And excuse me, I'm going to get Tim to do that presentation for me after his presentation. Anyway, I think I'll would like to do, just give me a second here. I think, Tammy, next on the schedule would be the induction of Patrick into our club. And Patrick, I see you're here. I just want to thank you for accepting our invitation of the members of this club to rejoin us in the worldwide fellowship and service work of Rotary.
Sorry to interrupt, Neil. I believe Judy has something to say before that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No. Okay. All right. Good.
I'm just going to be introducing Patrick.
Yes.
And then you
my
do the
God.
induction.
Yeah.
That's okay. Patrick, we're so happy that you're joining our club. I've known Patrick for I don't know how long, many, many, many years. He's been a Rotarian for more than 20 years. The last 12 years, he's been with the Edmonton Strathcona Club, which is the club that my husband Ron belongs to. He was the treasurer for 2 years and held other positions such as foundation chair and club services director. He was also a member of the Canmore and St. Albert Rotary clubs. He is a charter member of the Canmore Club, and he's a past president for both of those clubs. So he certainly is bringing lots of Rotary experience to our club, which is wonderful. The reason that he wants to join our club and leave the Strathcona Club is because he has sold his financial services business to his daughter and downsized his residence, and he's retired now, he and his wife, and they plan to travel and enjoy life and wants the flexibility that our club offers, which is the reason that a lot of us belong to this wonderful club. So we think that you're just the best fit for our club, and we're so delighted that you're joining our club, and now our president will induct you.
Thank you. Sorry, Judy, and thank you so much. I can be taught. Anyway, thank you, Patrick, for accepting the invitation. And what a wonderful introduction of you from Judy. This club, so thank you for accepting the invitation of the members of this club to rejoin us in the worldwide fellowship and service work of Rotary. This invitation was extended to you because we believe that your leadership qualities are allied to those qualities which fit you to interpret and impart the message of Rotary to your fellow man. The principles and practices of Rotary, the privileges and obligations of a Rotarian are already well known to you through your active membership of the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. We would hope that you'll give this club the benefits of your previous Rotary experience to further strengthen the fellowship of this club and to help us serve even more effectively this community in wider fields of Rotary service. Your membership certificate will be emailed to you by your club secretary, Tammy, and we look forward with confidence to your participation in and contribution to our club's programs, projects, and activities, which will enable us to serve society better. I want to congratulate you and offer you the right hand of Rotary Fellowship. Well, I can't do that physically, but I am hoping to do that physically at some point in time, either when you visit us in the Maritimes or when I get to Alberta, probably in 2025 for the international conventions. So Rotarians, join me in extending the warm welcome to our new member, Rotarian Patrick Gibson.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thanks for the kind words, Judy and Neil. It's and the acceptance. It's a pleasure.
Well, I personally want to welcome you aboard. This is great. I look forward to meeting you at some point in time. Actually, I look forward to meeting everyone in person at some point in time. So, okay, next on the agenda is I'm going to pass it over to Tim Schilds. He is going to do a major donor recognition for us. So, Tim, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, we have a Paul Harris pin first, and then
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
No
thought
problem.
I would do those after my presentation.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm good to do the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about the Rotary Foundation. So good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. I think I see somebody here from Madrid. Is that right? So we're covering the globe again. That's what I love about Rotary. It's absolutely wonderful to be able to reach out all over the place. So thanks for having me here this morning. What I plan to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about where we're at as far as the fight against polio is concerned. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the annual fund and a little bit about the endowment. All of it is doing good in the world through the Rotary Foundation. So let's kick it off with Together We End Polio. This is a picture that was taken by my daughter when we were in India on a National Immunization Day. And it's absolutely incredible to be involved at that level and how much gratefulness we felt from all of the people in India. And the Rotarians in India are doing an incredible job in making sure polio doesn't come back. So here's where we started, 1988, which is when Rotary got into eradicating polio. There were 125 polio endemic countries in the world, and there was about 350,000 cases a year. Roll forward to 2023, and there are now 2 polio endemic countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And so far this year, there have been 6 new cases of wild polio virus reported in Afghanistan and 5 in Pakistan. So we've come a long way. More than 3 billion children have been immunized. And our best estimates are that more than 20 million people are walking right now because of our polio eradication efforts. What a tremendous difference that's made in their lives. So our strategy going forward, we are getting close, but we're not there until we eliminate the very last case. So goal 1 is to permanently interrupt transmission of all wild polio virus, well, actually all polio virus in Afghanistan and Pakistan. As I mentioned, we're at 6 and 5 there, so we're getting very close. And goal number 2 is to stop the transmission of the variant polio virus. So the variant polio virus is derived from the vaccine. And what happens is the vaccine can mutate, and especially in areas where there's not much vaccination, like there's not a high vaccination level, that mutation can infect children that have not been vaccinated. So that actually produces more paralysis right now in the world than what the wild polio virus does. And one of the ways that we've found to combat that is with the development of the novel oral polio vaccine. So it's been in use since 2021, and it's much more genetically stable. It's far less likely to mutate, as in a very, very low percentage chance that it will mutate. So that has been having an effect already. Going forward, we're hoping to get that in more countries and more used so that we can finally get rid of all polio in the world. And it's important for us to finish it, because if we don't finish, then we have this situation that it can come roaring back. And estimates are that we would be back, if we stopped all vaccination right now, we'd be back up into the 150,000 case a year range within 5 years. So it's important that we finish this job. Talking about the annual fund a little bit, and I have to say this is very exciting for me when I put together some pictures for this presentation this morning. We'll get to that, but first this is Gabriela from Honduras. And Gabriela was lucky enough that a Rotary Club in California and a Rotary Club in Honduras got together through a district grant and did a microloan program. So Gabriela was able to get a microloan to develop her sewing business further and really make a lot more money. And I mean, the money is a nice thing, but what it's being used for is the most important thing. And it's sending her children to school. That, for me, is the way we really end the cycle of poverty, is by being able to make sure that our children get educated. And that's what Gabriela is able to do as a result of this microloan that came through our Rotary Foundation. So annual fund share, I just spend a brief moment on how it works. So your donations that go into the annual fund share program on an annual basis are held for a 3-year period, and the investment growth in from those investments helps to fund the foundation operations. At the end of the 3 years, 50% of the money goes to the World Fund, and the World Fund is run at trustee discretion, so whatever the global need is, and it also funds global grants and various other programs. Sometimes the World Fund is used for Polio Plus. It's been used extensively for disaster relief. The other half goes into district designated funds, and half of those district designated funds, which come back to our district to make the decision, half of them go to district grants, or up to half. That's the maximum that can go into district grants. Within our district, we've used all of the district grant money that we possibly can for the last at least 7 years. It wasn't always that way, but we had this little Wayne and Wayne show that went around the district and got everybody excited. And then the remainder is used for global initiatives, most of it within our district for global grants, but we also use it to support Polio Plus efforts and have used it for Rotary Peace Centers as well. So district grants, I still can't believe I had to ask Tammy what district grant money you have used. And she said, well, our big one was Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And I'm not sure if you know how big Dolly Parton Imagination Library really has become as a result of your club. You've done a tremendous work in Northwest Territories, and the little girl on the right is from Aklavik. So she's a girl that Sally and I sponsored through your program. And it's done a tremendous amount of work for Northwest Territories through you, but it's also translated into a lot of other areas. Because you did this in Northwest Territories, we set up a program in Dawson Creek, and there's now been more than 30,000 books go out to children in the Dawson Creek area. It also translated into Grand Prairie got involved. I don't know how many books they're at, but I'm sure it's over 30,000. And then Whitecourt got involved. And then Hinton got involved. All as a result of hearing about what you were doing with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So thank you for what you've done for basic education and literacy throughout our district and even outside our district. Absolutely incredible program. I love it. So other district grant money. Sorry, David, did you have a comment?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it came up.
Really good.
So you've also created opportunities for Guatemalans through student scholarships using your district grant money. And well, that's what that one is as well. I don't know what happened to the wheelchair picture. I had it in here. Sorry.
It's Project Amigo.
Yeah, and this is Project Amigo. Just before that, this is Himalayan Life, and it was rebuilding a school in the Yangri Valley, student scholarships there. So yeah, this is Project Amigo. On the left is student scholarship, and then school supplies for the children at Project Amigo. Another incredible way to spread literacy and help with basic education and literacy. I even recognize some of the people that are in those pictures, I think.
Tammy's still wearing the same lipstick, I think.
And then this one, I saw the note about Mondesta Youth Opportunities Program, and I thought I should know that from somewhere. Well, Judy Harcourt took me there in February, and we were able to have a visit at the school. What a tremendous thing they're doing there. Some of the students came out and played some music for us. We got to visit classrooms and talk to students. They're really making a huge difference for students that are from low income families, helping them get through their school. Absolutely incredible program. Thank you for supporting that. Global grants, one of the things that we've got happening at the district level right now is a wash project in Mwanza, where we're trying to turn toilets that look like this. And you can see down on the right end here where all this concrete is. Well, that's the boys' urinal. Not really very nice at all. And we're turning them into this. These toilets have a hand wash station. They're actually I was calling them a low flush toilet, and then I found out that the toilets actually use less than half a cup of water. And one of the big reasons for not having a flush toilet is that they're worried about the children playing with it and watching it flush over and over and over again, and they'd run out of water. But yeah, they've put in these incredible low flush toilets. So these pictures are from Arusha, which is also in Tanzania, and they're taking the same product to Mwanza to help 12 different schools there. Biggest way that, or one of the big ways that we get money for the annual fund is through every Rotarian every year. You'll see on this slide that there's about 33% of Rotarians that donate to the annual fund. We do a little bit better within our district. We're at about 43%, but just imagine what we could do if every Rotarian gave $25 US per year to the annual fund. It would take it so much higher that it's just incredible. And I think one of the things that happens is some Rotarians think if I can't give 25,000, I might as well not give anything. And every dollar makes a difference. No matter what's within your comfort range, it definitely helps. So I'm going to talk a little bit about endowment now, and I'm going to start it with a short video.
You're a Leewood. You know what that means?
We work hard and we give back.
You know, someday this apple tree will be bigger than I am. We're leaving the future behind today. You'll see.
Giving to Rotary's endowment ensures life-changing programs will benefit generations to come. Your legacy is Rotary's promise.
So your annual fund contributions, for me, are like you picking the apples off your tree and sharing them with your neighbors. With the endowment fund, it's more of a case of you're going to donate the tree and let the fruit support everybody in perpetuity. And through the endowment, you can support any of your favorite life-changing programs for a long-term basis. These will be here long after we're gone. You can obviously make a gift now to the endowment if you wish and be able to watch your legacy in action, or you can do it through a documented promise for some time in the future, so it doesn't have an impact right now on any of your finances. The impact comes after you no longer need those finances. So Sally and I in 2015 set up an endowed share fund. So all of this money goes into the share program, exactly the same as the annual fund. We set up 30,000 US in 2015, added about 4,000 more in 2016. And you'll notice that in the first 2 years, the total spendable earnings were zero, because in the first 2 years, the money, all the investment earnings are just reinvested to make sure that that fund will be there for the long term. Over the years, the market value has grown. And as the market value grows, so does the spendable earnings. So the spendable earnings that come off a share fund are split 50-50, 50% to the World Fund, 50% to district designated funds, exactly the same as annual fund share. So in the last 8 years, we have generated $10,700 in spendable earnings, but the investment is still worth $41,000. So I look at this and I think, okay, well, I've invested $34,000, $10,000 has been spent, almost $11,000 has been spent, and my investment is still worth $8,000 more than what I put into it. That's a win as far as, I guess, 7,000, sorry. That's a win as far as I'm concerned. And this will continue to grow. So what the spendable earnings are is between 2 and, well, honestly, between 0 and 5% of whatever the market value is. It's never above 5%. It does go to 0 if there hasn't been enough investment earnings to maintain the spending. So I find this an incredible way to help support the district. Within our district, we get about $9,400 per year in district designated funds from share funds. And out of that, there's almost 2,000 comes from funds that are not named. So that's donations of, you know, somebody's given $1,000 here or $1,000 there. And all of those have accumulated to come back to our district. Sally and I are also very passionate about basic education and literacy, which is one of the reasons I got excited about Dolly Parton Imagination Library and Mondesa. But we've been involved with basic education and literacy for quite some time. It's actually one of my jobs at the international level. I sit on the Major Gift Initiative Committee for basic education and literacy. And here's one of the big reasons. Many of you will recognize Atsikana Paulendo, or APU in Malawi. It's a girls' school that was started in 2004. They've graduated well over 1,000 girls now, and the success has been absolutely incredible. They've got about 480 girls going to school there. And this is in a country that once you hit grade 8, you have to start paying for your education. So most girls didn't get an education because why would you pay to educate a girl? This school made that difference. And even now there are people just scrambling and get their girl in there. That's right, they are smart. The pass rate here is usually between 99 and 100%. They actually had people from the Ministry of Education come and watch them take the exam because they couldn't believe that their pass rate was so high. Countrywide, it's about 50%. So naming the Rotary Foundation Canada, and that one of the important distinctions, if you are going to put anything in your will, please make sure it says Rotary Foundation Canada. There has been some confusion because some people have just put in Rotary or they've put in Rotary Foundation. And to get proper receipting and donation receipts, it needs to be Rotary Foundation Canada. You can do it, through life insurance policies, retirement assets, or even adding a codicil to your existing will or revising your will. And when you do that, you want to fill out a form and make sure you tell people where you want the money to go. And I do have a complete list a little later on in here. As far as recognition is concerned, any immediate gifts, benefactor is US 1,000 or more. Major donor, exactly the same as what happens right now with any annual fund donations, and Arch Clump as well. And one of the things I should mention is that these are all cumulative. These are not one-time gifts. Like you hit major donor by giving for a while, at least for most Rotarians. If anybody has a spare $10 or $250,000 they'd like to get rid of, I can help you do that. But and then for planned gifts, benefactor, if you put in 1,000 or more in your will, a benefactor is your status. Bequest society is 10,000 or more. Within our district, we have 110 bequest society members, and we have one legacy society member, which has a bequest of $1 million plus. So our big fat hairy goal for the endowment fund is to hit 2025 by 2025. So I'm sure you're all going to be at the Calgary Convention in June of 2025. That's when the announcement will come. That's when we're going to be talking about it. And hopefully we can announce that we've hit that goal. We are getting closer. We still have 391 million to go as of June 30th, 2023. The first quarter has not been really lucrative, but it never is. One of my surprises is how big May and June is, even for endowment fund. I would have thought December, because that's tax year end, but May and June are actually bigger. So we've hit 678 million in actual assets and 955 million in commitments. So, we're working on it. And one of the things that we've got within our own district is we've also put out a challenge of 25 by 25. And so what we're looking for is commitments or cash from 25 people for $10,000 each. So that would raise about 250,000. I do have a couple appointments with people that are interested, and if you're interested at all and want to have a Zoom meeting, I'm happy to have a chat with you about what all your options might be. So where can you allocate? All 7 areas of focus, the World Fund, Share, and Rotary Peace Centers are the 10 areas that you can set up an endowment. I was asked at one of the presentations, why is polio not in there? Two reasons. Number one, any cash that goes towards polio is spent immediately to try and eradicate. And number two, we really hope that polio is gone before you are. So doing a bequest to polio, what do we do with the money? So, and it's, you know, whatever your passion is, if you don't make an allocation, this brochure is available online where you can indicate what you would like the money to go to. If you don't make any allocation, then it will go to the World Fund. Just some contact information. So I'd just like to say thank you to the E-Club for the good you're doing in the world. When I went through those pictures, like I said, I was very, very excited about what I saw and what you're doing. So thank you very much for that. So I'm going to take this off of share, and then I thought I would make a couple presentations, and then I will take any questions anybody might have for as long as you want me here. So I'm very honored, first of all, to be able to make a couple presentations this morning to people that have supported the Rotary Foundation and are part of why you are able to do those district grants that you have been able to do, and why many people in the world who will never know them can live a better life. And the first one I want to recognize is a Paul Harris Fellow +2, and that's Keith Evans in Addlestone. I don't think Keith has his camera on. There he is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Keith. We really appreciate your support of the foundation. You truly are doing good in the world and making a difference to others. Thank you.
My pleasure, Tim.
And then I have one more, that someone that has been very committed, I think for a while now, and is making a huge difference, and that's Tammy. And Tammy has achieved major donor status, which, yes, exactly. That's a big 2 thumbs up. Thank you very much, Tammy. You've really made a huge difference to a lot of people in the world, and including your local community. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you,
I'd
Tim.
love to pin you, but I
Yeah.
can't reach.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor, and I'm happy to support the projects I got to see firsthand last year, Project Amigo in Mexico. My next wish is to get to Vicky's project there in Guatemala at some point. So I'm so happy that we can continue to support education and literacy. It means a lot.
Thank you. As the education and literacy guy, I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, I guess the next thing we wanted to do is show people how to donate online. That's the easiest way to donate to the foundation. I can do it, Tim, or would you like to show people just how to get into Canadian? I myself always do it through the Rotary Foundation of Canada, but I think you can do it through my Rotary as well. Can you?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I had it up
Hold
here.
up
Just
on?
let me see if I
Okay.
still have it on the screen. Maybe you can talk while I do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So one of the things that's in there, as Tammy's pulling it up, one of the things I like is you can give to any area of service. You can give to polio. You can just do the annual fund share. You can also give to the endowment while you're in here. So it's, totally up to you. And well, what we do, Sally and I do, is we also set it up to come out annually. That way we don't have to worry about it. It just goes on our credit card. We used to do it monthly, but we were both giving a donation to polio and one to the annual fund. And we got 48 receipts a year.
Yeah.
And that didn't excite me very much. The
No.
good news.
I find the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just basically logged into my Rotary. It's important that you log in because then all of your information will pop up automatically. So if I wanted to go in today, let's just do a polio +1 for today so you can see. You simply just click that, move down to here, select your country. I had already done that, and I selected my currency, which is Canadian dollars, and it will tell you the equivalent or what the US amount of 25 would be in Canadian dollars. It'll tell you all that at the bottom. So I'm going to do $25 today. And because I logged in, as you can see, all of my information goes in automatically. Then I choose how I'd like to pay. I like double whammy, so I usually do it on my credit card and transfer the money to there because then I'm getting points, travel points. You simply fill all that in. I won't do that right now because I don't need everybody going buying stuff afterwards. And then you hit submit. And then you have a chance to review the donation. You click on that button, and if there are any errors or you'd like to go back, it's very simple. You'll get an email it'll show that it's going to the Rotary E-Club. You will get a confirmation from Rotary showing that you made the donation, and then you will receive an official receipt that you use for income tax purposes. So I would like to offer, if anybody wants to do it online, is having problems or they haven't tried it yet, I'm happy to Zoom with you and step you through it. We can do it after a coffee chat some morning, but it's the simplest way for you to make a donation.
And good news in the receipt department is that we've been told that the staff have figured out how to do an annual donation receipt. So starting in 2024, you can do monthly donations and just get one receipt at the end.
Oh, good. That's great.
Tim, if I can make a comment on, because we're an international club, I have a $10,000 US bequest in my will, but for tax purposes, it's more advantageous for me to designate the Rotary Foundation in the United Kingdom rather than Canada. So where our members are not resident in Canada, and where Rotary has a foundation set up in the country of which you are a resident, you should designate in the will the relevant foundation in the relevant country. If you don't have a foundation set up separately in your own country, you do the Canada one, obviously. And the reason my camera was off was I was frantically searching for my will just to check which one I had done in order to be able to make that comment. So that for an internet with a club with international members, just thought it was important to make that point.
Yep, good point. Good catch, Keith. Thank you. I mostly present within Canada, so
yeah, obviously, but we've got a member resident in the States as well, so presumably he would be making the Rotary Foundation in the US as being the relevant beneficiary.
Yep, that would be the best way. And if anybody is, definitely UK and US is the main area. But if you're in a country and you're not sure if there's an associate foundation there, just get hold of me and I can find out and make sure we get the codicil right if you want to do that. Thanks for that, Keith.
On Saturday I was at the district assembly, and a few of our other members were there online, Judy for sure and David. And there was a very generous, I guess you would call it a pledge made by Edith and Daryl Martin. So are you aware of that one, Tim?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
had a great conversation with them, and last Wednesday I was able to present them with their pins.
Nice.
Yeah. So
So
you
can you
have,
just explain how it worked? Because it was news to me about any money they've contributed up to this point becomes part of that pledge.
yeah, so Arch Clump Society is for anybody that has donated 250,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation. Now, you can also do a 3-year pledge to get to that level. But yeah, everything you've done before gets added in. So like for Sally and I, we became Arch Clump Society members in 2017 with Kit and Dietrich, actually.
Yes.
We both got to go to Chicago together, and we all got to go to Chicago together, not just both, and celebrate Canada, becoming Arch Clump Society members. So at that point, I had been in Rotary for 29 years. So the jump to that next level wasn't 250,000. And, you know, it just depends on how much you've given along the way as to how much you need to make that next jump. Daryl and Edith, I believe, have given quite a bit over the years as well, but they have a 3-year pledge to make up the final amount.
Exactly. It's all exciting.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's very cool stuff.
So if they ask me to buy a drink at the Christmas do that I'll be with them together, I'll know why I'm buying the drinks rather than them.
Yep.
I have my hand up.
Yep.
Go for it, Ellie.
Yeah, I just have a question, Tim. That can be combined with the couple, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not already combined for your
I think we are.
contributions, yeah, we should make sure. Yeah, yeah, Sally and I are combined, so all the gifts go to the one account, basically.
Right.
Now, how does that work for receipting purposes, Tim? Do you get a receipt that either one of you can use, or
Yeah, within Canada, either member of the couple can use a
use
receipt.
what they want? Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, no matter whose name is on the receipt.
Okay, Tim, here in Spain, I guess you are talking about the FHRE, no?
Yes, that would be right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, a great presentation, Tim. It's very informative. Does anybody have any more questions for Tim or questions about anything today? One of the I was just going to comment on when you were first sharing the pictures of our projects, Tim, one of the ones that didn't come up, it was for Vicky's program in creating opportunities for Guatemalans. We supported a wheelchair project there, but we also provide student scholarships. And I should mention that in addition to what the club sponsors with these various programs, there are a number of our own Rotarians who sponsor students on their own, on top of what the club is doing. So getting double bang for our buck in most of the programs we support as a club.
I have a question about the novel vaccine attempt. Does that still need to be kept very cold like the previous one?
It's not as critical. It still is kept fairly cool, but it's not as critical as what the old one was.
So it's a little easier to transport into a village in Africa or Afghanistan or somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
If we don't have any more questions, I think I'll stop the recording and then we can just have fellowship for a few minutes.